GM has confirmed the 2024 C8 Corvette E-RAY in a short teaser trailer, and the GM president has also alluded at the fact that they are working on an all-electric Corvette, both of which we'll be getting sooner than we thought. Now, the first variation I'm going to cover is going to be the E-RAY. This is the next variant of the C8 Corvette that we are going to get. Now, the Z06 has debuted, but we haven't heard a whole lot about it. As a matter of fact, it hasn't even hit dealerships yet. So to get this information on the E-RAY to me is a little bit shocking. I didn't expect it this soon. But we all had heard rumors and some leaked documents and information that an all-wheel drive hybrid version was coming. Now, GM has come right out with this teaser trailer that you're seeing now, confirming its existence. Now, the first feature I'm going to touch on is going to be the electric front axle, making this the first all-wheel drive Corvette. Now, being that it is in the snow, you can see very easily that the front wheels are spinning a lot sooner than the rear wheels, but the rear wheels do kick in, giving it an all-wheel drive capability. Now, of course, this is going to make it a front wheel biased all-wheel drive system. So with it being an electric hybrid motor, I don't know if they're somewhere in the drive modes that they could switch this from a front wheel biased all-wheel drive system to a rear wheel drive biased system in, say, a sport mode. But I guess that'll all come to pass when we get more details on this. That would definitely be a pretty cool feature, though. Now, again, the front axle is going to be an electric motor. We do not know of any kind of power ratings on that motor, but we do know that it is going to be linked to the 6.2 liter LT2 V8 that you will see in the base model Corvette. Now, that is putting out 490 horsepower, and with that electric motor, it is being estimated that it could be somewhere around 650 horsepower total. Now, obviously, combined with the all-wheel drive system, the 0 to 60 times are going to be mind-blowing. They're guessing somewhere in the sub 2 second range. Now, that could match or even beat the Z06, which leaves the question of where in the Corvette lineup does the E-RAY fall? Well, the E-RAY is essentially going to replace what is usually known as the Grand Sport. Now, the Grand Sport would normally get everything the Z06 has as far as suspension, braking, and aerodynamics, with the exception of the engine. So that's basically what you're getting here in the E-RAY. You can see you have the wide body kit from the Z06, you have the Z06 style front grille, and the much larger carbon ceramic brakes. Now, things we can't see, like the suspension, we don't know how the springs and shocks are set up, or is it going to get the Magna ride, much like the Z06. So there's things in that nature that we don't know yet, but visually speaking, we can see it's getting a lot of Z06 components. Now, having the LT2 matched with the all-electric hybrid system is putting the horsepower really close to the Z06. Now, GM has even stated that we could be getting this car as early as next year. Now, in saying that, we're obviously talking about the debut, not so much when it's going to hit dealerships. Because we all know, as the Z06 was debuted, we're still waiting for more information on that and when it's going to hit dealerships itself. So, although this car may debut next year, I wouldn't expect it to hit dealerships anytime soon. But just knowing that this is out there, the very first hybrid Corvette and the very first all-wheel drive Corvette, I mean, that is super exciting. Now, this car was spotted back in 2019, testing next to an Acura NSX. Now, we all know that is also a hybrid all-wheel drive supercar. And if they're going to base the performance of this E-RAY on an NSX, I think that we're going to be very pleased with what the finished product is going to end up being. Now, I feel like the Z06 is going to be so much more track oriented than the E-RAY. So if you are big into road racing and getting your car on the track and really experiencing the car to its fullest potential, the Z06 might be the way to go. But if you are an average guy who really wants the most performance you can get for the street, then the E-Ray might be your better choice. The all-wheel drive system will help you in all kinds of different weather, regardless of where you live, and that extra power and the hybrid system will, especially when mated to the LT2 V8 engine, that's going to be a lot of fun to drive. Now, before I get into the announcement of the all-electric version, I want your thoughts down below on what do you think of the new E-Ray teaser trailer we have, the looks of it, the all-wheel drive system, and the power potential. Is this something you might choose over the Z06, or would you rather go with the flat plane crank V8 and the rear-wheel drive only? Now, after this announcement was made, we also got another announcement from GM's president stating that we will be getting an all-electric version of the C8 Corvette. More specifically, he said an Ultium-based Corvette is coming, and it's coming sooner than you think. He also said, some time ago, we moved the Corvette team into the EV space in Warren, Michigan, and when we revealed the new mid-engine Corvette, I said there would be more to come. This morning, I sat down with Phil LeBeau of CNBC and finally answered the question I've been asked countless times. And that is yes, in addition to the amazing new Corvette Z06 and other gas-powered variants coming, we will offer an electrified and a fully electric Ultium-based Corvette in the future. In fact, we will offer an electrified Corvette as early as next year. Details and names to come at a later date. Now, the electrified version he's speaking of is the E-Ray that we just talked about. And obviously, the fully electric version would be the Ultium-based Corvette or a fully electric EV version. Now, many are thinking that the upcoming Zora model that we're supposed to get with 1,000 horsepower, or at least that is suspected, would be the all-electric model. Now, that would be pretty easy to accomplish with an all-electric Corvette. But some are even saying that the Zora model would be a hybrid, but instead of mating it with the LT2 V8, we would be mating it with the flat plane crank out of the Z06. And then with the help of the electric motor would propel it to close to 1,000 horsepower. So whether it be a hybrid or whether the Zora is going to be this all-electric version that the president is speaking about, we will just have to wait and see where that leads us. Now, he also continued saying, in addition, we also announced today's Ultium Platform's energy recovery system, a patented onboard system that takes the heat generated by EV batteries and uses it to warm the cabin, create more efficient charging conditions, and even increase vehicle acceleration. And it can boost the vehicle's range by about 10%. It's a perfect example of how developing a ground-up EV platform like Ultium enables unique features not easily done with a retrofit. So it definitely sounds like GM is taking not only the Corvette to a whole new level, but they're really wanting to advance the EV to a whole new level as well. So I want to know what your thoughts are on the 2024 C8 Corvette E-Ray and what GM's president had to say on an upcoming all-electric version. If you haven't already, do me a favor, drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button on your way out. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you in the next upload.